Welcome to our deep dive. Today we're cracking open Mehrdad Khameneh's cafe, Tito.
Ah, yes.
It's a really fascinating book, not quite a memoir in the usual sense, you know?
Right. It's different.
More like, well, a collection of fragments, anecdotes, kind of like sitting in a cafe where memories just float around, voices overlap.
That's a great way to put it. And you never know quite what's coming next. Tragedy, comedy, it's all there.
Exactly. And Khameneh frames it as life lived between places, languages, and identities.
Mm-hmm. And I think what the book offers isn't just a story, but a real immersive experience of that kind of life.
Yeah.
We should probably explore how its unique style managed to pull you in like that.
Okay, let's do that. Let's start maybe with Khameneh's early life. He was a film student in Belgrade.
Right, under some pretty formidable Yugoslav filmmakers.
He actually calls it shock therapy, his education there.
I bet.
I mean, imagine a professor just telling you bluntly, I don't understand a word of this. Are you making this film for yourself or for an audience?
Oof, tough love.
Yeah. Or getting advice from someone like Karanovich, who apparently told him to stop killing and torturing characters and instead learn to film love, sex, and joy.
That's direct.
It really paints a picture, doesn't it? But how that Yugoslav context maybe pushed students to really wrestle with reality in their art.
Absolutely. And those artistic struggles, they weren't happening in like a bubble.
Yeah.
The huge historical shifts. I mean, the collapse of Yugoslavia, the really precarious lives of migrants moving through Europe.
Yeah, that backdrop is crucial.
It's more than a backdrop in Cafe Tito, though. It feels completely woven in. These disruptions are part of the narrative fabric shaping the lives he shows us.
For sure. Which brings us to some of the stories he tells. There's one that really stayed with me.
Oh.
His encounter with Mojgan, an Iranian refugee. She'd lost her husband and 2 children trying to cross a river. Just horrific.
God, yeah. Unimaginable.
And she agreed to talk about it on camera, about the disaster. But she never, not once, said her children's names. And that silence, you know, it ends up being more devastating than if she'd confessed everything.
That perfectly captures what I'd call Khameneh's filmmaker's eye, right?
So,
Well, the scenes are just so vivid. The dialogue feels real. It snaps. And the way he cuts between stories feels exactly like film editing.
okay, I see that. Like sharp cuts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's not all grim either. There's this sort of sly humor woven through it all.
Oh, right. The pistachio story.
Yes.
Yeah.
Trying to sell 2 tons of unsold Iranian pistachios.
With a borrowed bakery oven.
And all these Albanian guys saying, Inshallah, you know, God willing, amidst total Balkan chaos.
It's absurd, but also captures something essential, that resilience.
It does. That mix of hope and resignation.
So we have this really vivid cinematic style, but it's also interesting how much the book seems to withhold. The narrator himself, Khameneh, often feels kind of half-hidden. You see him in reflections and the stories he tells about others, but not always directly. And I wonder, could that distance maybe feel a bit frustrating for readers who want more intimacy, especially in something that feels like a memoir?
That's a really fair question, but I actually think it's deliberate. I'd argue it has to be.
Why is that?
Well, think about the experience he's describing, exile, living between worlds. It isn't often a single neat story, is it?
No, probably not.
It's more likely to be made of shards, improvisations, detours, unexpected turns.
Okay.
So Cafe Tito doesn't give you that neat, coherent narrative. Instead, it offers something, well, messier, maybe, but also truer.
A portrait of life lived between things.
Exactly. Between places, languages, identities. A fully exposed, singular self might even feel false to that specific experience.
That makes sense. So reading it really does feel like you said earlier, sitting in a cafe of memory.
Yeah.
Where the past isn't really settled or finished. It keeps bubbling up.
And Cafe Tito shows just how much richness, how much life can be found in those intersections, those between spaces.
It definitely does.
So, maybe a final thought for you listening. If memories and stories are shared like these overlapping voices in a cafe, what unspoken or fragmented stories from your own life, or maybe from the lives around you, are shaped by those spaces between places, cultures, identities?
Something to think about. A great place to leave it.